Hey, what's going on, y'all? We almost done 2018. I'm excited about what's about to come in 2019. Want to take the time today to just give y'all some quick tips. One of the things that is happening is I'm getting a lot of calls, texts, emails, etc. from clients who I've had over the years when a furlough comes up, they have questions. They're going to call me, ask questions on what they should do. For a number of reasons. One, we talk about stuff like this, and I help them prepare for moments of financial emergency. And then some of the things like in 2016, I think it was, when there was a pretty long furlough that happened. I think it was like 2 weeks or a week or something like that. I had clients who, were able to take money out of their whole life insurance policy instead of going into their TSP. They were able to take money out of their policy and not be penalized. And so that's happening again. I'm starting to get those same calls. So at that time, I just helped them out, and we just kept it moving. But today, I wanted to give you guys some information on why it's important. And so I came up with 4 different things. If you're on my email list, you probably got this email already. But I wanted to go over the 4 main reasons why having a whole life insurance policy is important, especially in a furlough situation or even in a retirement situation or financial emergency situation. This could apply to all those things. But this is why having a whole life insurance policy is good to have when you need access to money. And in this scenario, I'm also just going to compare it to the TSP for all you federal government employees, right? Because a lot of people like to go into their TSP to borrow money, but a whole life insurance policy can be a better way. And so reason number 1 is, when you withdraw money from your TSP, you got to pay a $50 application fee, or processing fee is what they like to call it. Whereas if you have a whole life policy, that is free. So if you want to take out $5,000 from your whole life policy, you don't have to pay any fee or nothing like that. That money will come to you in a matter of days. Whereas with TSP, there's a $50 fee that goes on that application. Is a part of that taking money out. The next thing is with TSP, when you withdraw money from the TSP, you can only do one at a time. You can't take multiple loans out against your TSP. Whereas if you have a whole life cash value policy, you could take as many loans out as you want, or you could take as much money out of the policy as you want, as long as the money's there. You can't take $10,000 of a policy that only has $5,000 in cash in it. That won't work, but that won't work with TSP either. So as long as the money is there, you can take out as much money as you want, which is a really cool feature. Number 3, with the TSP, you have 5 years maximum that you have to pay the loan back, and you have to pay the money back with your TSP. There's no way around that. So the longest you can spread the loan out is 5 years. Whereas with the whole life policy, you don't have to pay the money back. It's up to you if you want to pay it back or not. Now, the downside to that is, if you say you have $5,000 on a policy that's a $100,000 policy, if you take $5,000 out of the cash value, your policy drops from 100 to 95,000. However, you don't have to pay the money back. That's not a requirement. So that can mess you up when it comes to like cash flow or savings and things like that. Whereas with the TSP, like if you have the TSP, so like in the TSP, I've seen people that are trying to save for retirement, but they're also paying $300 a pay period back on a TSP loan. So that's hurting the amount of money that they can be saving and adding to their principal. Whereas with the whole life policy, you don't have to pay the money back. It just comes off the cash value. Off the death benefit of the policy, which to some people isn't that big a deal. And number 4, and it's kind of related to number 3, is that with the TSP, you got to pay the money back not only do you have to pay the money back, but you also have to pay the money back with a 3% interest rate on top of that. And so that's, you're paying a finance charge on your own money. Which can hurt again when it comes to your retirement. So you just always want to minimize how much money you have to pay back in interest. Like, some people just don't pay attention to that stuff, but if you're smart about money, interest is a big deal. So you want to make sure that the interest that you have is working for you, not against you. And so a 3% interest rate on money that is yours already can be a bit steep. And can be avoided, like I said, if you have a whole life policy. Let me think. The last Number four, I don't know, I had a phone call come in just now, but number four would be if you're close to retirement and you take a TSP loan, like say you're 62 years old right now and you need to take a loan out right now, you have to pay that money back within 90 days after retirement, or that money will be taxed, used as income, and you'll be taxed on it, which can be a big deal. Whereas with whole life, the money you take out is never taxed. So that's some of the pros and cons, to having a whole life policy. Again, I'm just going to recap them for you. You get the multiple withdrawals with the whole life policy. You got the no processing fee. You also got you can borrow the money and not have to worry about paying it back after retirement, and then you don't have to pay the 3% interest rate on the money that's yours already. So look, whole life isn't always the best, but it's great. I mean, it's not always the best, but it's good to have. There's other ways to invest, but it's something that you should definitely have within your portfolio. It's not the only thing, but it's something you should have. So if you got any questions, feel free to go to fedlegacycall.com. You can set up a call with me. I'm more than happy to answer any questions you may have, or just comment below and I'll answer some questions for you. Again, peace and blessings. Hope you have a fantastic new year. Talk to you later. Bye-bye.